Alright, everybody. So, sorry the video's not going to really show my face, but I came across this while scrolling through the Facebook Reels, and I watched through the video already. So I'm just going to replay it, and I'm going to pause it at a few different points in order to um, add my own input on the video itself, or in a couple of spots correcting some mispronunciations. Because, oh my god, there are multiple. So, anyways, without further ado, the Jurassic Park Iceberg.
Jurassic Park Iceberg explained dinosaurs can detect electricity. This is based on the fact that, how did the dinosaurs know that the fences were turned off so that they could break through? In the movie, we first see Rexy, the T-Rex, break through the fence after he touches it with his arm after he drops the goat bone.
Alright, so right here, I'm pausing the video. All of the dinosaurs in the original Jurassic Park were female until some of them naturally transitioned because of the frog DNA that was used. As pointed out in both the movie and the book, some species of frogs can change from male to female at will if they are in an environment where there is not enough of one sex or the other. There are also some reptiles that can do this, as well as some reptiles that can reproduce asexually, like marine iguanas. Marine iguanas will produce fertile eggs that are all male when there are not enough males in a particular area to be able to breed with all of the females. And they will be genetically distinct enough to, and I know this is going to sound really weird, hello sweet home Alabama, but breed with their own mother. It's very weird to us humans, especially in today's world, now that we know so much about genetics, but that's just the way they do it.
Out of the fence. Now, Dr. Grant mentions in one of the movies about how dinosaurs evolved into birds. And today, we actually know that birds navigate using magnetic field detectors in their brains. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that bird ancestors, dinosaurs, had a similar ability. Doomsday Rex / Ultimasaurus.
Okay, now that is absolutely a reasonable conclusion. It very well could possibly be that there were some dinosaurs that had such sensors in their brains to be able to tell north from south. Now, at the very start of that particular tier within the iceberg, he asked the question, how did they manage to tell when the electricity was turned off? And then immediately answered it with Rexy's situation. They touched the fences. For anyone who read the book or even watched the movie and paid attention to Muldoon when talking to Grant about the intelligence of the raptors, especially the big one, you will know that the raptors were all testing the fences. In the book, the big one never tested the fences herself, much the same as in the movie, but they also never attacked the same spot twice. They were testing them for weaknesses and finding electricity in every single location. They didn't have any particular organ or sensory ability to be able to tell that there's electricity in this spot or another other than touching it. And then as soon as there was no power and they went testing the fence again and found that they did not get shocked, they realized, oh wait, now I can get out. Much the same as Rexy's situation. Touched the fence, realized, hey, I didn't just get shocked. I'm gonna get out now because I want to see what's out there. But anyways, on to the next.
Doomsday Rex is this genetically engineered hybrid dinosaur with multiple heads. It sometimes has tentacles, but it was said to be designed as an unstoppable predator. Now, this thing was actually going to appear in the canceled The Lost World animated series, and some concept art got released, and that's how we know about it. The Ultimasaurus was said to be another hybrid that some say is more powerful than the Indominus Rex. Basically, they took every good part from different dinosaurs. It's got horns from a Triceratops, the mouth of a T-Rex, hands of a Velociraptor, the spikes of a Stegosaurus, and kind of the tail of an Ankylosaurus, and it's larger than the...
And right here's our first mispronunciation that we're going to correct. There's no such thing as Ankylosaurus. It's Ankylosaurus. Coming from the Greek word ankylos, which means stiffened, and sauros, which means lizard or reptile. Ankylosaurus magniventris is a large ankylosaurid from North America, existing between 68 and 66 million years ago alongside Tyrannosaurus rex in the Hell Creek Formation. Ankylosaurus is a common mispronunciation because people apparently don't know how to read a word and put letters in the order that they appear.
Indominus Rex, as it was at 65 feet long and was fully grown. But this design actually came from a canceled toy line that was going to be part of the original Jurassic Park movies toy line. Amanda Kirby created the Indominus Rex. So, in Jurassic Park 3, Amanda Kirby ends up leaving the door open to the aviary, causing the Petrodons to...
Here is the other mispronunciation, at least as far as what I remember, that I'm going to correct. These are pteranodons. The P in pteranodon is silent. Pteranodon is a pterosaur, which again has a silent P in the word, from North America, particularly right around the shallow sea. I forget exactly what it was called. That extended from what is now the Gulf of Mexico on up through a good portion of Canada. I want to say ended somewhere up by the northern end of Alberta and Saskatchewan. All that remains of this shallow sea today is the Great Salt Lake in Utah.
Escape. Vic Hoskins then is tasked with killing these Petrodons, and because of this, he ends up getting a job with InGen later on. Then, in Jurassic World, he planned on making the Indominus Rex with Dr. Henry Wu. Thus, Amanda started the domino effect that...
Now, here's another spot. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. Hoskins had no plans to create the Indominus Rex at all. He did not know of the existence of the Indominus Rex until it broke out. He was concerned with using the velociraptors as tactical weapons. Trainable tactical weapons. Essentially treating them like dogs, but much more vicious and much more difficult to kill. Having them go in and destroy enemy forces rather than putting human lives on the line, but then realize the potential of the Indominus Rex if you were to shrink it down.
Ended up creating the Indominus Rex Spinosaurus hybrid. So it's said that some InGen officials went back to Isla Sorna in 1999 to do some early research and development for the second version of Jurassic Park. And simultaneously, they were also doing amalgam testing. This is when they introduced 4 new illegal species into the ecosystem of Sorna: the Ceratosaurus, the Ankylosaurus, the Corythosaurus, and the Spinosaurus. So there's a note that Dr. Wu wrote where he detailed how he left an accident on Isla Sorna. Now this could be referring to the Isla Sorna velociraptors or the Spinosaurus. And if it was like an accident, I would assume it's probably the Spinosaurus instead of many accidents, which would have been the velociraptors. So the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 is a theropod. It very much looks like a T-Rex on how it walks and moves. And other previously cloned animals were on InGen's list for this island. However, the Spinosaurus was not on this list. Based on this, and the fact that the Spinosaurus should walk on all fours, we can assume that maybe this Spinosaurus was just an early hybrid, or it was just an accident. It's also said that they tried mixing different bird DNA with the Spinosaurus and ended up with a very much more aggressive version of this creature, which kind of explains why the Spinosaurus would seem to behave less like another animal and more like a bloodthirsty monster. Alan Grant.
Okay, so couple of things there. Number one, there absolutely is some indication that the Spinosaurus may have been a hybrid. There have been a couple of I want to say there's source material from Universal that was teased as potential explanations to kind of egg this one on, but I don't remember for sure on that, so don't quote me on it. But from what I had remembered seeing, the Spinosaurus was actually only about 60% Spinosaurus DNA, and then the other 40% was a couple of species of birds, which did increase its intelligence, as well as a little bit of Allosaurus in there, which explains its taller posture. Now, I don't know exactly when this gentleman created this video, although he does reference the D-Rex from the upcoming Jurassic World reboot coming up. The new failed dinosaur attempt or hybrid or whatever it's supposed to be. We don't know exactly what it's supposed to be yet. So it has to have been sometime this year. Now, we have known for the past couple of years now, Spinosaurus was absolutely not quadrupedal. The idea that he references comes from Nizar Ibrahim with the Neotype Spinosaurus material from the Kem beds in Morocco, and having found that the legs were extremely short, while the front limbs are very long. Spinosaurus was not a quadruped. Um, it constantly utilized its claws in, at the very least, fishing and, you know, providing food for itself. And so it needed to keep them sharp. And its knuckles are not properly designed for it to be a knuckle dragger, similar to a reptilian gorilla. It did have a very forward heavy body, but this was counterbalanced by its tail being much longer than what you would expect from such a large, or from a theropod in and of itself. Um so its center of balance was just in front of its hips, and it likely held itself a little bit more angled upright than what most other theropods would, simply to keep its hands from touching the ground, just because of the limb proportions. There is also some debate as to whether or not Ibrahim's neotype was a chimera and featured material from multiple Spinosaurus individuals, which would account for the legs being so short in comparison with the rest of the body. However, in either case, Spinosaurus, not a quadruped, it's a biped just like all other theropod dinosaurs.
Psychic abilities. So Alan Grant is on the plane to Isla Sorna, where he then dreams of the Isla Sorna raptors before he had even seen them. In this scene, you see him sitting on the plane and he's dreaming of the person next to him having a raptor head saying Alan, Alan, and it's really kind of a funny scene. But obviously, he had not seen these raptors on Isla Sorna at this point. He had only seen the original Jurassic Park velociraptors. So maybe he had some sort of psychic abilities with these.
Now, this one is just straight up ridiculous. I do not give any credence to any psychic abilities whatsoever. Um, Anything like premonitions or anything like that. Are there ways to predict events? Absolutely. Um, However, just to have a premonition about exactly what is going to happen and exactly how it is going to happen, absolutely not. I give no credence to that whatsoever. Um, the reality of this particular situation is that the creators wanted to tease the new Raptor design before thrusting the full-bodied raptors to us. Personally, I feel like it would have been a better move to show the original raptors, or show the original raptor design in this scene on the plane, because that's what Dr. Grant remembers having seen, and then later show the new velociraptor design and have Dr. Grant make a comment about how different they are from the ones that he had seen on Isla Nublar. Because even the ones in the second movie, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, are much more similar to the ones on Isla Nublar than they are to these ones that we see on the same island one film later. So there's two different kinds of velociraptors running around Isla Sorna, and only one kind was used on Isla Nublar for the park.
raptors for whatever reason or just psychic abilities in general, because how would he know what they would have looked like before he even went there? Site C. So Isla Nublar, which is likely Site A, is an island 120 miles west of Costa Rica. This is the island where the original Jurassic Park movie took place, where, the actual park was, and then the dinosaurs got out. Isla Sorna is another island that is Site B. This island is 87 miles southwest of Nublar. This is the island where Jurassic Park 2 and 3 movies take place. Initially, this is the site where they grew the dinosaurs before moving them to the park on Nublar. The island Isla Sorna is part of a group of islands called the Five Deaths. Among this group of 5 islands, there's also an island called Isla Morta. This island, Isla Morta, is Site C, which this name Isla Morta means Land of the Dead. Now, Site C is likely the location.
So, for anybody who read the books, you already know about the 5 deaths, and you already know the names of these 3 islands. For anybody who is not, it's not just Isla Muerta, it's Isla de Muerta. The word de being Spanish for of. If you're going to name an island that is present in source material, please just use the proper grammar from the source material that shows that you actually looked at everything that you're trying to talk about.
That the new movie is going to take place at. And it's not confirmed that this is the location, but we can assume that it is from a lot of different things, from different parts of the lore in recent video games like the Jurassic World Evolution game. We know that Site C, Isla Morta, has a secret hybrid development research station that's ran by Dr. Henry Wu. This site is such a secret that not even Hammond knows about it. But on this island, there could be all kinds of hybrids, ranging from the D-Rex, which we see in the new trailer for the movie, or even like the human dinosaur hybrids that we were supposed to get in Jurassic Park 4 that got canceled, like Raptor Man and T-Rex Man and Triceratops Man. Island natives wiped out. Basically, when the company Engine bought the island Isla Nublar.
Yeah, I have absolutely nothing to comment about that last part other than saying the name of the island correctly. I haven't played enough of the the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World simulator games to have gotten that far into it to know exactly what he is talking about there. So if any of you do or have played that far into it, feel free to leave some comments.
From the Costa Rican government, there were actually tribal people living there that didn't want to leave. So Engine then hired mercenaries to forcefully relocate them. And so they were either taken out or relocated to reservations or slums. And basically, they either had the native population killed or herded onto reservations in order to make way for their park and their research facilities. And yeah, wow, Jurassic Park is a lot darker than what you think looking at the.
Okay, now this one is complete and utter bogus. There is, unless it's been referenced in like Jurassic World Evolution, and that was added in as canon source material, then fine. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But absolutely nowhere in any of the movies or the books does it say that there were anybody, or that there was any civilization living on any of the 5 deaths when Hammond and InGen purchased the islands from the Costa Rican government. They were completely uninhabited, at least based on the original material from Michael Crichton, and there was nothing hinted at all in any of the movies or the shows as far as what I've seen. It could very well be a um now, unless I am wrong and that was added in there, it could even be so much as making a commentary on how the United States government treated the Native American peoples, which was absolutely horrific. I myself do have a little bit of Ojibwe ancestry, albeit not from within the United States portion of the Ojibwe tribe. My ancestry is more from Ontario, but the mistreatment of the Native American peoples within the United States is 100% very similar to what he is talking about here. However, there is no mention of that in the movies or books to go along with the Jurassic Park franchise.
Surface. The Green Flame. So, in the Return to Jurassic Park comics, the American Army was actually protecting something called the Green Flame on Isla Nublar. And they were doing this because Biosyn was actually trying to get their hands on whatever it was. Obviously, this was something really important as the US military was getting involved with it. Anyways, Ellie Sattler, Alan Grant, and other characters were actually threatened with being executed by the Army just to avoid leaving witnesses of its existence. One character was even taken out by another person while they were interrogating her about it. What's sad about this whole thing is that the comics portrayed it as something really big and mysterious and kind of set it up like it was going to be a big reveal. And then suddenly the comics changed the story to a completely unrelated storyline and it was never revealed what it was and we still don't know to this day. Anyways, that's all I got. I wish I had more on the Green Flame, but I don't. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching on a platform that doesn't usually let people make long form content. But if you do want to watch on a longer platform, I am on YouTube. And thank you for watching. You're just like me for real if you watched to the end. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.
So yeah, there is my commentary and reaction to this gentleman's 7-minute long video. I do apologize that it has taken so long to get through all of it, and it's almost a 30-minute video of me rambling. But there was a lot of information there needed to be talked about, as well as just making sure that correct information is getting out there and that it's not just he said, she said, oh, this makes more sense than this, when all of the other evidence, when all of the available evidence is pointing somewhere entirely different. But it is what it is. So leave a like, leave a reaction. I don't know what this gentleman's YouTube channel is. Although it very well could be Phychopoly, considering that's his Facebook profile, apparently. But I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Probably won't be anything like this, but who knows? We'll see how this all goes. Peace.